Today's movie is about marriage, business, and law. It is a movie that makes people feel like they are in real life, watching the problems that young people have with each other, and the dark secrets that can hide behind a perfect smile. At the beginning of the story, we see a woman standing outside her house, looking nervously at a stranger parked across the street. She receives a call from her friend, who tells her to come to a party as soon as possible. The woman replies that she is on the way, perhaps telling a lie to her friend. Just as she hangs up, a man steps out of the shadows and kills her. The woman's death has become a special topic for many news outlets. The news reports suggest that the deaths of women, one after another, are caused by a serial killer. The person listening to this news is our main character, a woman named Jones. She was tired from working all day and thought of taking a break. As she walks into bedroom, she is surprised to see that her husband, Markin, is there. Jones is very happy. Mark was back almost on their anniversary, so Jones was excited to spend this special day with her husband. However, her happiness does not last long. Mark said that he had a job to do and that he would give her more time next year. Jones could not accept this. She pleaded with him to make time for him, at least on their anniversary. Mark explained that they were both working hard for their lives, to build a wealthy future. But Jones, who had hoped for love rather than wealth, was quite disappointed in Mark. The reason was that the two had not been together for even 10 days in a row during their entire marriage. Mars was always working. Because of this, Jones felt lonely and unloved. With a heavy heart, Jones flatly told Mars to give her a divorce. Jones works as a lawyer and is an excellent woman at her job. Although she has a good salary and everything is perfect for her on the outside, she is still angry because she does not receive her husband's love. At her company, two people are likely to be promoted soon: Jones and her best friend, Natalie. Jones is mentally and physically exhausted because she is about to get divorced. Her friend, Natalie, invites her to exercise and talk to help her relax. Jones agrees, but she can only get Mark out of her mind when she is running. The rest of the time, she just sits at home and sneaks into Mark's social media accounts. There are also female fans who support Mark because he is a very successful and charming party planner. Jones sees pictures of these women at his parties, and she is jealous of this. Just when she was struggling to decide whether or not she was right to divorce, Natalie suggested that she consult a divorce lawyer. She sent Jones the information of a specific, high-profile divorce lawyer named Wright. Jones refused to do this. She wasn't sure if she really wanted a divorce, but Natalie urged her to consult a professional just to know her options. When she got home, Jones, who was still confused and sleepy, called Mark to discuss the divorce. Mark explained that he did not want to be separated from Jones. He said that he was working so hard for them, so that they could spend the rest of their lives together in peace. Just as the two were about to end their conversation, Mark's client phoned him for business. Mark said goodbye to Jones and hung up. Jones felt terrible. It seemed like his work was more important than their marriage. Realizing that things are not going well, Jones decides to take Natalie's advice. She goes to see the divorce lawyer, Wright. During the interview, Jones learns that Wright is a very serious and intense lawyer. He tells her that once a client of his decides to divorce, they never plan to go back on it. In fact, Jones herself is having a hard time deciding whether to divorce, so she came to ask Wright's opinion. Wright is very smart and has understood from the beginning that Jones is not really here for a divorce, but for advice. After a while, Wright tells her that the meeting is over and that she can call him any time if she wants to discuss anything. Jones goes home and tries to talk to Mark on the phone again, but he is busy and just says, "Good luck, talk to you soon." Natalie invites Jones, who is feeling uneasy, to a bar to help her relax. At the bar, Natalie let Wright and Jones for their private conversation. Wright asked about Jones's article that she is writing, and he encouraged her about her situation in relationship with Mark. Jones confessed that she had not yet decided whether it was right or wrong to divorce Mark. Wright, overhearing her, said that even if she tried her best, if the other person did not change, she should divorce. Jones was a little upset by his direct words. On the other hand, Natalie was interrupted by a rude man at the bar. Wright immediately got up and started talking to the man. Realizing that the man who interrupted her was also going to get divorced soon, Jones understood the feelings of a couple about to get divorced. She calmly asked the man to leave quietly. The man, surprised by her confidence, left without saying anything, and Natalie was grateful to Jones. After drinking and eating, Jones asked Wright if she could accept him as a client. Wright smiled and spoke to her, saying that she could accept him as a client, as well as a girlfriend. Jones tried to keep her cool by saying that she was still married, but Joe insisted that he liked Jones' honest and intelligent personality. and then he left. One day, while Joan was working quietly at her office, a picture came to her phone. It was a photo of her husband, Mark, kissing another woman at a party. It turned out that Mark was cheating on her with someone else, which shocked Jones. She immediately returned home from work. She called Mark, but he didn't answer. She was so angry that she destroyed all the photos of them together in the house. Not knowing what to do, she called Wright. It turns out the person who sent her the picture was Wright. One of Wright's clients was a man working at Mark's party, and he had taken the picture. Jones realizes that she learned about Mark's infidelity through Wright. Jones comes over to his house. Then he tries to kiss, who is confused and crying. He tells her to forget about Mark. Jones initially refuses, but she is heartbroken, and she can't resist Wright's manliness anymore. So, they stay together that night. Later, Jones asks Wright why he became a lawyer. Wright tells her his sad story. When Wright was young, his mother killed his father out of jealousy because he was cheating on her. Wright, who was useless when he was young, became a divorce lawyer one day to prevent such unhappy marriages from happening to other people. Wright explains that as a marriage goes through ups and downs, people tend to do things they shouldn't do. The next morning, Mark calls Jones. Mark tells her that someone stole his phone, but he has it back. He explained that the girl who kissed him was the one who kissed him. He said he avoided her and that he had not cheated on Jones. Jones refused to believe him. Mark said that he was back in town and that they should meet somewhere, and then hung up. Jones also thought about meeting Mark one last time. She went to Wright's bathroom to wash herself. While there, she found some unknown liquid in the toothpaste container, which made her feel strange. Wright had returned just then. She also threw away the coffee that Wright had given her, pretending to spill it. She was becoming suspicious of him. When they arrived at the appointed place, Mark explained again that the girl kissed him, but he had avoided her. He swore that he had not cheated on Jones. Although he was very focused on his work, Jones realized that he was not the kind of person to do this. She started to believe him. Just then, Wright arrived and said that he was Jones's divorce lawyer, which caused a fight between Mark and him. Mark is also upset because of this, and Wright starts a fight because he is teasing Jones. Realizing the situation, Jones tells Mars not to come home, and tells Wright to leave. She leaves by herself, confused. Wright brings roses to Jones's office, who has been missing for a few days. He also tells her that he will help her get a divorce from Mark as soon as possible. Jones says she wants to be alone and drives him away. So Wright leaves. When Jones and Wright's relationship is discovered at work by Brian, their teacher, boss, Brian tells Jones that if she have any problem she can tell Haim. Brian doesn't seem to like Wright's behavior. He trusts Jones but is worried about her. The movie then shows a scary scene. While Jones is sleeping in her room, Wright enters her room and installs a hidden CCTV camera. He is now watching her every move. The next day, Jones is startled when she hears someone entering the house. She is about to hit the person with a nearby stick, but it is Mark. He explains that he has come to get some necessary things, and that he doesn't want to end the marriage. Jones tells him to leave, but he says that he has not spent enough time in the marriage and doesn't want to hurt Jones. Mark leaves, and Wright is watching all of this through the CCTV. Wright meets Mark, who is about to go out. Wright tells Mark that he must divorce Jones, and if he doesn't, Wright will force the woman from the party, Johnson, to file a sexual assault complaint against him for kissing her. Johnson was the one who initiated the kiss, but the picture shows them kissing, so Mark can't deny it. This would ruin Mark's career. Mark attacks Wright, saying that a man like him doesn't deserve Jones, but Mark suppresses his anger and leaves. Mark tells Jones about the threats Wright has been making, but Jones can't believe it at first. Jones then admits to sleeping with Wright, and Mark understands that she was just heartbroken. Jones says that she has to do something to control Wright for now. Mark tells Jones to stay away from Wright because he's too dangerous, but Jones decides to record Wright's confession. Jones goes to Wright's office. She says she wants to divorce Mark as soon as possible, but Wright says he can't help. He wants to control her, not help her. Jones says she doesn't want to see Wright again and goes home. Natalie also finds out about the Johnson lawsuit, and they finally understand everything about Wright's behavior. Natalie says she will help her in some way. Later, Wright arrives at the bar where Natalie is drinking alone. Wright tells Natalie that he feels sorry for her, that Jones is just using her and is only bothering her because she wants to be a better writer than Natalie. Because Wright is so talkative and manipulative, Natalie also becomes suspicious of Jones. She calls Jones, but Jones tells her to leave her a voice message, thinking she is not important to Jones. Just as Natalie was about to hang up the phone, someone blocked her from behind and killed her. It was Wright. The next day, Jones notices that Natalie hasn't come to the office. She also sees that Wright is there. Brian, their boss, tells Jones that he knows that she was using Wright to get information. Wright told him that he would sue the company for this, and that he would fire Jones if he didn't want to be sued. Jones explained everything about Wright, and Brian, who knew everything, told Jones that he trusted her. But he advised her to take a break from the company for a while till this problem is solved. Mark was at home, and Wright came to him with a gun. At the same time, Jones went to the office to meet Wright, but the secretary told him that Wright was not there. Jones also asked the secretary to help them get out of the danger they were in, believing that the secretary knew the most about Joe. The secretary also informed Jones that Wright was not only targeting Jones, but also many other girls. When Jones returned home, she was shocked to see Natalie's body lying dead in the bathtub. At that moment, Wright, who was hiding, grabbed her. He gave her a sleeping pill and made her sleep for a while. When she woke up, he had tied her up with ropes, and Mark was on the floor, unconscious. Wright explained his plan. He would kill everyone. He was a serial killer, obsessed with his mother's idea that all people who cheated should die. While they were talking, Brian came from outside the house. He had come to check on Jones. Wright said he would call him, but instead, he shot Brian with a gun. Jones also managed to escape from the ropes, and Mark was startled by the sound of the gunshot. However, when Wright returned, both of them pretended to be normal, and Mark attacked Wright. Jones also ran away and asked Brian, who had been shot, if he was okay. Meanwhile, Mark was being attacked by the psycho, Wright. Jones tried to escape, but Wright caught her and strangled her to death. But just then, Mark pointed a gun at him from behind. Mark wanted to shoot Wright, but Jones explained that if he did, Mark would be a murderer. The police arrived at that moment, and Wright said that he would have died if the police had not come. The police initially mistook Mark for a gunman, but Wright's secretary came and made him a witness who identified Wright as the killer. Wright, who was furious, was about to shoot the secretary, but Mark intervened, jumping in front of her. The police shot and killed Wright, and Wright died instantly. Now Jones has been promoted and has written an article about her experience. The secretary was left by her side. Unfortunately, Brian did survive from his gunshot wound, but now he is on wheelchair. Mark was only slightly injured, and Jones and her husband lived a happy life together. The story ended. This movie highlights the fact that a young man's future is directly related to his parents' marriage. I would like to thank each and every viewer for watching and encourage you to continue watching more interesting movies like this.